Welcome back to episode 5 of the Orks of Gork and Mork, you beautiful people. So we've had a little bit of time in between this episode and the last. We got Madders fixed up, seeing as he took a bit of a kicking against the old mechanoids. A little bit of micromanagement on my part, but seeing as some time has passed, what we do have is our little orkoid cocoons over here are at 97% grown. And then when they get to 100%, we are going to be able to harvest them. And then once they are harvested, I guess we'll see what comes out of them. Ideally, a whole bunch of snotlings would be amazing, because our orcs aren't amazing, has to be said, at harvesting. So having a bunch of snotlings doing that would be great. And then once we get more snotlings, we can start getting rid of the Gretchen. Which brings me to the next point. It's about our religion. So the religion is Gork and Mork. So pretty orky, I like to think. Yeah, details. But because there's a lot of other people from a lot of other religions, they're trying to convert our orcs into their religion, which obviously is a no-go because that is particularly un-orky, because all orcs should be under Gork and Mork. We can go on to Madders, and Madders has something called Convert, which we can use to try and turn other orcs towards our religion. So we got Basham here. And then if we go into social, his bar, even though it is slightly cropped off, is up here. Now that we are trying to work down at the moment, but because our orcs have a sweet all in the way of social skills, yeah, that's taken a little bit longer than it should, but we're going to have to start working through each of the orcs and Gretchens individually. But once we get snotlings and we get a couple more orcs, we shouldn't need the Gretchen anymore, which would be good to get rid of. And talking about not needing any more orcs, we do have a rock impact coming in. Now this thing is going to be packed full of lots of orcs, and if we can get a bunch of orcs, we can recruit them. And what we can do is we can convert them before we recruit them, and then we don't have to go through this dilemma of the other orcs trying to turn our orcs away from Gork and Mork. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Details. And the orkoid cocoons are at 100%, so let's see if we get anything. And we got nothing. You haven't got anything in your gear tab, do you? Nope. Well, that's a bit of a letdown. Okay, so we'll go zone, orders. And let's put these under harvest. So once they're done, our guys can go in and get them. Maybe we just need to do a few. Maybe it's not each individual one. So yeah, we'll keep an eye and hopefully we can get something from it. Also, we need to expand our little orky tribal area here. So what I am thinking is we get the granite wall, we run it across here and to there, and then something like that. And that will give us a very big area for our, I guess, tribal-esque ritual place. And it's saying our supreme platform is disrespected, so this room needs to be more impressive. So we are going to extend the walls out, and then we're just going to make this room massive. And what we're using is the hex tiles on the ground, which seem to work okay, but this area gets super dirty. Which, that being said, off the back of that, what would be important is we just go and concrete in here, which means less dirt is going to get dragged in, and then this area is also going to need concreting as well. And maybe, just maybe, that keeps the impressiveness up, and with that, hopefully we can convert the other orcs a little bit quicker. Going in for take 2, and yet again, still not spawning any orcs. What we got here? We got orkoid fungus. Rage Walker's just eating it. Bit of a shame. Might have overhyped that a little bit. Was expecting a little bit more, had to be said. Now this is quite interesting. The orc rock landed, and then these orc tunnels started showing up. And so when it comes up in the top corner of the screen, it says Bug Hive has reproduced itself. So it's looking like we might have another issue where there is just going to be a whole bunch of nasties coming off at us, more likely. So I think we are going to have to go down and see if we cannot deal with this sooner than later, because if this keeps... Okay, this is different. So foliage killed 36.4, Radius expanded to a day, reproduces in 19 hours. So these rocks are different to the ones I fought before, and it looks like they spread and then just spawn more and more orc holes. And it has been a decent while since that rock landed, because over here we are working on our little, I guess, temple, shrine to Gork and Mork. It's taken a very long time to make, but that's all going to count for now if a whole bunch of orcs come and wipe us out. So what I'm thinking is we're going to go with the strategy that we should have done before. Everyone into defensive positions. We'll sort that out, make that look a little bit prettier. And then Gut Splitter. You don't do a massive amount. You are going to come down with your flamethrower and cause some trouble for those orcs. Then if you can, mate, you're going to run back and then get some covering fire from the rest of the orcs. We'll see if this works out. Okay, so we're down. Let's hope that these things are flammable. Okay, let's actually pull to the top, so we might have a chance of running away. But they don't seem to be triggering even though we're shooting at them. Okay, that's cool. That works for us. All the tunnels are wiped out, so we are going back in. You might want to be in a situation where you can shoot. Ooh. They have some serious kit. We got power claws, we got big shooters, we got zap guns it looks like. Snaz guns there. That's a zap cannon. Twin linked. Ooh, what is this? Plasma death cannon. Oh yeah, that doesn't seem ominous at all. Right. I would say that is probably us done. But, come on, let's go fight them. What's the worst that can happen? Run, Skitter! There is a lot of orcs there. But they have killed off a couple of their own, which is kind of worrying, because all that does is just show how crazy powerful these guns are. And good job we sent a Gretchen over. We don't mind about losing Gretchens. And we did say about getting rid of this, didn't we? And we haven't. Cool. I don't have high expectations for this, if I'm being honest. There's a lot of them. And they are in pretty much the same equipment as us. And some of them have better kit than us. Amazing. Even though I do want that death cannon. That seems pretty sweet. Well, we haven't actually lost anyone yet. So maybe we pull this off. I think it's because we got the big shooter platforms, which give us a lot better accuracy than the standard orcs. Most orcs suck at shooting, whereas we got stuff that actually can. The zap gun in the back is going to be a bit of an issue because that outranges us. Their snaz gun there is causing some issues. And we might actually be able to pick up some pretty decent orcs out of this. Awoken Belief. Is that what all of you are? Yeah, pretty much. It is going to take a lot of 4 hours, 7, 19. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of converting, but we should be able to swell our orc ranks pretty nicely. Yeah, this might work out. Might work out. Okay, so their zap cannon does outrange us. So I think this is a job for Gorebuster and Rage Walker. Those guys are just going to run in and go nuts. You guys are off draft. And hopefully fix each other up. And they just nuked out the embrasures. Tough, but not invincible. Right, we're going to go round, find who's worth recruiting. And then, well, yeah. Try to convert them and then bring them into the Wah! But I think maybe first we should try to save our own orcs. Just thinking about it. And we'll send Matters down and he should be able to pick out the best of the orcs. And thinking the best one we have found so far is Warbok. Physically deaf, annoying voice, bloodlust, poor hygiene, fast learner, slowpoke, tough, xenophobe, and no tan. So really not actually great, but we can sort those. However, he has a double burning passion in social, which is really good because we need someone that can talk. So if we can convert him, we can put him, say, into the weird boy role, and he is going to be able to turn the rest of the orcs to us pretty quickly. Also has a single burning passion, well, single passion in artistic, which normally isn't amazing, but we are having to kick out a bunch of statues, so he's going to be quite good for that. Gear-wise, heavy armor, and a plasteel iron gob. That's not bad. Bleeds out in 4 hours, so he is rescuable. So matters straight onto this one, and then we'll start going through the rest. Okay, we did lose one orc, which isn't great, I guess. He was our pain boy. What were you good at? You had 12 in medical, and you were one of our planters. That's fine. He still had like 4 hours left, and then just bled out, which these orcs just seem to do. They just bleed out for like no reason. And let's have a gander there. Bleeds out in 6. Yeah, you should be fine. And we also have medicine there. So go tend to them. Now, this is interesting. So, this keeps reproducing and then kicking out more orcs. But some of these orcs are actually spawning with some decent equipment. So this one came with another plasma death gun. Now, plasma death gun does 90 damage, which is insane. Stopping power of 3, which is also mental. 80% armor penetration, 38 range, sweet all in the way of accuracy, and a 2-second cooldown is very reliable. Now the problem with plasma guns is they can overheat in this mod, and when they overheat they get damaged, and then the more damage they get the more they overheat, and if you're not careful you will just blow up whoever's using it, which is quite fun. But this does mean if we go a little bit sneaky, we should be able to farm these orcs and get some pretty decent equipment from them. Okay, change of plan. We have seen what happens when we leave things too long. So we are just going to go and wipe the orcs out. They're already rebuilding tunnels down here. And this thing is still kicking out orcs. Now that did overheat and cause a whole bunch of damage to that orc. 90 odd damage right there. And what's over here? Okay, we've got another tunnel in the north. So let's go that way. And then you guys shoot this up before any more orcs spawn out of it. We're still going to get a decent amount of chem fuel, and we're also going to get their armor, which we are going to be able to strip and sell. Now, were you any good? No. No, he wasn't. Okay, details, not an issue. Let's go process through all of our spoils of war. But it seems like we're going to get a little bit more action in this episode. We now have a siege coming in from, what are they, the scythe cutters? The mindless cutters. Okay. Not that they achieved much. They managed to drop an incendiary shell in the middle of a desert. You know, if that makes you happy. If you call that a victory, good on you. Okay, we're going to move this way, force them around the corner so we're not fighting them all at once. Our snaz guns, though, cause a serious amount of damage. And Gallbuster, you stay there and just give them a face full of lead when they poke their head round. Skitto, you're going to need to move back because you cannot tank to save your life. And Gallbuster's nemesis, the bitey shotgun, is back. That is what brained him. However, we did manage to give him a Polaris block injector, which sorted his brain out a little bit. So now he is not brained anymore, which makes him a lot more useful as a leader, seeing as he can actually talk. Does lose the manipulation bonus, but all points considered, we kind of need a leader that can talk. And what have you got? Okay, Daka Death Gun. What does that do? That looks like a bit of a beast. 7 damage. 48% armor penetration. Burst count of 60. Range of 38. Okay accuracy considering those numbers. And then a range cooldown of 4. Oh, I'm not even mad about that. That is pretty good. So being a bit of a noob, I didn't realise why we weren't able to convert them. So if we go into prisoners, we got a set to convert, and then when we go into social, we have their conversion bar up here. Turns out if you want to convert someone, you have to use someone from the same ideology, which does really make sense, and that is just me being an absolute noob. So now we have Matters is now on the old wardening in, which means that he is going to be able to go in and hopefully convert them towards us. But in the meantime, what we do have is a siege over here. And who are these guys? The landmine bandits. Not in anything crazy. We got one guy in actual power armor. That guy, I think, is also in power armor as well. So he's got recon armor and a close combat helmet, which is fair enough. That is going to soak up a lot of shots. But let's go and get all of our Orkses and Gretchens, and let's just head over and gunline them down. We can still do that at the moment, but look at our new weapons. So even the Grots have snaz guns, and then most of the big Orks are running big shooters. The mech has a snaz gun himself, and then we also have like the big old death cannon over here. Daka death gun. As a beast of a bit of kit. And I'm going to be interested to see what it can do. We'll reform here, move in as one so we don't get spread out. And they have dropped the first shell. Thankfully missed the base. And let's go in and shoot these puny Yumis up. Oh, and we also got a bunch of servo claws off the Orks. Well, servo arms. And they are pretty decent. They're not amazing, but they do make you work 20% faster. I think they make you move a little bit slower, but then we've got bionic legs, so that doesn't really matter. Ah, these new guns are awesome. Bad day to be you guys. Sweet. And a whole bunch of new, well, kit for us to play around with. Alright, this is really good. So we got conversion. So Warbork has now changed faiths. So he's on the same faith as we are. So if we look up here, it's only at about, what, 50%? Yeah, 50%. So, yeah, not great, which means he could be turned back. However, when we go into prisoners, we can now reduce his resistance. His resistance is 48, so this is going to take a very long time for him to actually join us. But that's also going to give Matters a whole bunch of time to work on his social, because turns out converting people isn't super great for that. Which means this guy probably isn't too far behind. What are you on? You're on 13%. So 2-3 more tries and Madaka should be converted as well. Which means that our tribe of believers will be up to 5 once these guys join. And then Basham, how are you doing? And Basham has nearly turned as well. He's on 10%. And Matters, let's see if we cannot turn Basham now. When you're ready, come across. Awesome. And then we just go convert and bang that down here and see what happens. 0%. Okay, Matters has converted Basham to the tribal faith, which should give him a mood bonus as well. It is not saying. Oh well, details. Well, anyway, Basham is now proper Orky, which means we've only got Terror Splitter and then the 3 Gretchens to change, and then this guy here, and Warbork is coming across when he joins, which is pretty sweet. What we have done over here is we put down a couple transport pods. The reason for the transport pods is we have a feral Ork clan nice and close by who are hostile to us at -80. If we can send a few drop pods over, get them to like us, that means they'll send us trade caravans, and also means if we run across and we trade with them, I think that is probably going to be about the best place that we can get snotlings from. I hope. And again, a large infestation is coming in, which I don't like these. Go away. Come on. How long and how big is this going to be? What? The actual... It spawned in with 20 large hives and 13 regular hives. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, that is just what we need. How long till these reproduce? Well, we've probably got a grace period of about a week on these. Considering how the other ones have gone, and they did not start nearly this big. We got 28 mega spiders, 12 megapedes, we got 1 queen, and a bunch of cephalopods. And what about you little grunts? 18 of those. Now our guys are better equipped than the other times. So I think what we do is we don't wait for them to spawn anymore, and we just go in and we finish this off. We got some good guns for hunting bugs now. Everyone is pretty much equipped up. Other than Gut Splitter, you're always losing your weapons. I am tempted to give him the death gun. I mean, you wouldn't give a Gretchen a death gun, but if the gun's going to explode and possibly kill them, I think a Gretchen's probably a better person for it. However, we are actually going to go with the Snaz gun. Let's look at what we actually have as far as weapons goes. So we got 4 big shooters, 2 Snaz guns, and then 1 Daka death gun. So yeah, I think an extra Snaz gun just for the armor penetration would probably be pretty good. And his shooting's decent enough, so he probably will hit. Alright, let's get on with this. Right, so it looks like we've already kicked the Hornet's Nest before we're in position. But we are not too worried about that. Let's just keep pulling back. Terror Splitter. Let's see what you can do, buddy. Do you know what? That went okay. Okay, they're already pulling down the bottom, but honestly, if they go into the base, what can they do? Not a massive amount, and they'll probably end up getting pulled back towards us. I guess they could go in and kill Warlock, but we know what the bugs can do anyway, so yeah, if we leave it, we're going to lose like more important Orks. Actually, Warlock will probably be one of our most important Orks. Throwing that out there. But if we can get in, take this out, and hopefully the bugs actually pull back and come back towards us. But having something with AP is just shredding those. Which ones are you called? Megapedes. Always get the bugs confused for some reason. Don't know why. I've done enough videos on them, I should know their names. Okay, yeah, most of the bugs are coming back. They've only got the little ones in the base. And we haven't really got anything that they can hunt, so we should be fine. He says. It doesn't mean we will be, but we should be. Yeah, I'm liking this cleanup operation more than the others. Okay, so, looks like they're basically going after our statues, overwall coolers, some things never change. And luckily, these Orks here are behind a couple walls, so the chances of them actually being busted out is somewhat limited. And over here, the gun line is holding. Just. Well, actually saying just, I don't think we actually got into too much danger. Yeah, no, I'm happy with this one. We just got to get this cleared out before they can actually do real damage to the base. Because we have rebuilt this base way too many times now because of these bugs. Alright, with a quick push through, all the bugs were drawn out, killed all of them, and then we have now taken out the hives. It is just a cleanup operation now, and the bugs seem to have pulled back towards us. Which is yet again good for us. So it turns out you want to deal with the bug infestation when you're playing as Orks. Just have lots of big guns, and weapons platforms, and bionics, and good armour. Yeah. Or just use your Ork commandos. Now this being said, that there needs to be taken out because we can't access this part of the map because of that like busted up piece of car junk. You can't climb over it. Okay, let's finish this off nice and quick. Search and destroy. And a green screen, wow, straight off the back of this. We really haven't had time to do much. Not much at all. I think we literally just got back in the base. Okay, we'll do it this way. We'll get one into here, because we don't know how many of them there are going to be. Well, we do now, and it's not a crazy amount. And do you have anything super scary? You got snaz guns and a bunch of big shooters. Okay, for Gork and Mork, let's go. Okay, a couple of them already down, which is cool. They're hiding behind our sacred altar. That's not great. Gut Splitter's down. And Wreckbuster. That was a very good orc name. And are you guys going to be any good? Construction, melee, no. And no again. Still haven't even had time to clear out the bodies or tidy up the blood, and now we have the reindeers coming in. The reindeer clan. Bunch of tribals. I don't think that is going to be super scary. We've just wiped out a bunch of bugs. We've had an orc war drop on our head. This should be fairly straightforward. Maybe, I think. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, not as scary as orcs. Not even as close to being as scary. Let's push down. They were fighting a bug. But yeah, no, just doesn't have the same shock and awe as an orc war. Has to be said. And with Cult Camp receiving the transport pod, they're now up to neutral plus 53. And I think that makes it time to form a caravan. And let's see if we can't send someone over and do some trading. Matters we kind of need. He's quite important. Gut Splitter, you can carry a surprisingly large amount. So you're going. And how much cloth can you take? Not enough. Alright, so we're going to give you silver. And hopefully, when you come back, you have a bunch of snotlings with you. Okay, that should do. And away you go, buddy. Right. This might be a bit of a challenge. So Gut Splitter was forming his caravan and then just got absolutely cromped by Gorebuster. Which means that he didn't actually have a weapon. So now he's only got some frag stick bombs. Let's see if we cannot micro this and take out these man-hunting monkeys that ambushed us. This is a pretty close range. Yeah, I'm not liking the odds on this. I think we might actually be in somewhat of a bit of trouble. Throw on yourself. Actually, no, that's a terrible idea because they explode on impact. Actually, I reckon you might be able to beat them up. You can't do medical. Okay, earn your worth, buddy. Well, that was a waste of a Gretchen. 2,000 silver. Why didn't he have a gun? Because Gorebuster stamped on him. Cool. We'll try again later. And one of the stupid Gretchen skitter is trying to run away. And Gretchens do that. But we are not going to allow that to happen. So Rage Walker is going to run over, beat up the little Gretchen, and get it back in to where it should be, which is doing some of the social and mining and construction stuff. Silly Gretchen, get back to where you're meant to be. And this also gives us a pretty good chance to change his religion over. So Skitter is of a different religion, which obviously we don't want. So we are going to try and convert him back, well, or just convert him generally to our faith. And Basham managed to get himself a set of mega armor, which I am not even mad about. It is a pretty boost bit of kit. And if I'm not mistaken, they do have power claws built in. So it says here, and incorporates fearsome weapons, a power claw and a combi weapon or twin link shooter. Okay, whether or not we actually get that is a different thing, but still kind of cool nonetheless. And if we do get it, that'll be beast. This time around, we have a bunch of mercs coming in. Now, I don't think the mercs are going to be super dangerous, but we don't have nearly as many orcs as we had. So A1, 2-year-old defensive positions. We've got some good guns, so we're going to be able to put down a whole bunch of hurt. But our numbers are going down, but that's kind of the Orky way. We're about to get a bunch more Orks. And I think that's kind of fun. It's just in a lot of colonies, you put a lot of like value on your Orks. So when they die, it's just like, oh no, they're dead. But this time, the Orks don't really matter because they are super easily replaced. And they're not particularly good at anything that they do. And I quite like that. But it seems they're not too interested in attacking us just yet. So let's go in and gun them down. We do have, what's that? 4 sets of mega armor helmets, which is pretty nice. Can't complain about that. And then 2 sets of actual mega armor. So soon, most of the boys are going to be mega armored up. And the last group of raiders are coming in. But yeah, they don't stand much of a chance. They're just getting shredded. Right, yeah, that's it, done. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. And this is pretty cool. So it turns out the Orks have their own custom guns. Well, custom turrets. So this is a Rattler turret. What do you do? 7 damage. Okay. 48% armor penetration, which is pretty nice. Burst count of 12 and a range of 36. Cooldown of 3.5. Costs 180 steel to rearm and 90 shots before it needs to be rearmed. Right. Cool. Then we got a Gork cannon. 25 damage, 42% armor penetration, and a 3-shot burst count. With 3.5 second cooldown. That is not bad. And then we got a big zapper. Alright. 75 damage, 86% armor penetration, and 45 range. And yet again, 3.5 second cooldown. Oh, they really have done a lot of work on this mod. Oh, this is cool. I like this. Okay, let's spread the embrasures out a little bit then. There we go. We'll go something like this, and then we can fit a whole bunch of turrets in. And if we have a bunch of turrets, it means that now we can go off and start doing some Orky raiding, because we don't need to worry about the base being overrun. Ooh, I like that. And let's hope we can get these turrets up in time, because we are getting raided by the Refugee Dominion, which is the Fallen Empire. And those guys are pretty tough. So an extra couple turrets will not go amiss. And with what they've got, I think... Let's go for 2 Gork cannons. They're fairly cheap. So we should be able to get them up nice and quickly. And then we'll get into some big zapper turrets as well. We did manage to get the turrets up. But... yeah, we might not have any power. That thing cannot quite reach, unfortunately. So let's do it the Orky way and just shoot everything down. Because everything is basically funneled into a, I guess you kind of call it a kill zone. Well, it is a kill zone, but it doesn't have the standard entrance. And we'll need to start doing something with these walls over here. Ladders, mate, do you want to come in here, buddy, and join in the fight? But yeah, it still does a similar thing where it spreads them out. But does make it a bit more fun than just having everyone just walk around in a conga line of death. Kind of like playing StarCraft 1. It's what the kill zones do. And let's see if we can strip any of these guys down, because they all have death acidifiers on them. So if we don't strip them, we just lose all of the kit. And this is stuff we are going to be able to strip down and also be able to sell and get some money off it. And we could do with more monies. Okay, so this is, well, what I'd describe as less than ideal, but kind of funny. Well, it's not funny, it's actually really rather annoying. So I have just lost about an hour's worth of recording, so that was my audio and my actual screen capture, because my SD card ran out of storage, so yeah, we just lost the hour. What has happened? We got more power armor, so power armor is always nice, and Warbok has joined us, and I believe we've got all of this set for him. Yeah, so he's on Warden on 1 and then R on 1. And then we've also now set it so Terra and Medaka are both on research. Hopefully trying to get through this research as quickly as we can. And then if we go over here and we go Mechanicus and then into Green Skin Tech, we still can't access any of the power weapons, unfortunately, or special weapons or any of that sort of technology. So I'm not sure if that's a bug, because when we go over here and we go into power, we have all that is needed. So research prerequisites, fabrication, we've got that. And one of the following, Orkish culture, we have got that required high-tech research bench. And we have that. Now if we go down into the actual Ork tech, unlocks with Orkish culture, we've got that, and Big Mech brains. Both of those we have, but yet we still can't get it. Special weapons unlocks with gunsmith and Orkish culture and Mordaka. Yet again, still can't research them or get them. So I'm not quite sure what's happening here, but yet less than ideal. So what I am thinking might be a okay thing to do is the research POW has been updated for 1.3. So I think next episode we drop that in, and hopefully that alleviates those problems that we're having now. Because research POW is really good for cutting out the technology that you actually need to get something. Because of the way that it's chained, you can sometimes bounce around the actual tech limitations to get the tech, which is quite useful and will be useful for us right now. But with that, we do need to wrap this episode up, which has now gone on considerably longer than I thought it would. But for you guys, it probably won't be as long. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll be Conti. All your likes, comments, sub support have been amazing. You guys are awesome. And I'll catch you on the next one.